What's up, fellow Vanguard nerds? I'm Babblerab, and this is that Rex combo tutorial video that you guys were wanting me to do. So, most of this stuff is a few plays that I know how to do, and then a few ones that I theory crafted off the top of my head. From what I can tell, it doesn't look like they require too much setup, so most of them should be fairly feasible. Another thing of note that I do mention later on in the video is that I will be playing more Rexes, and if I come up with more combos, I can probably make a second combo tutorial video for this. So if you guys want, leave a comment in the comment section below if you want to see some more combo tutorial videos for Rexes in the future. And other than that, let's jump to the first most basic combo. I'm not even going to cut the video here, I'm just going to go straight into this. By the way guys, I'm filming on the ground because I didn't feel like taking out the table. Reason being is that the past intro and first thing of the combo video decided that it did not want to save, or I accidentally deleted it, or a combination of the two. But when I upload the videos to my computer, they were just like, hey, we don't exist. And I was like, thumbs up. So much thumbs up. So anyway, I'm just going to put this one out of context. This is a pretty simple combo that most people who are playing Rexes should be able to deduce off the top of their head, but this is just for everybody who doesn't really know the combo. So the play is pretty straightforward. In your bind zone, you're going to have to acquire a Squall Rex and a Raptrax. Now this can be done just by resolving the end. This can be done by ending your turn after using Baby Rex's effect after you superior called these two, because at the end of the turn, everything called by this effect gets bound. So, for the most part, how the play pretty much works is you do your standard plays where you attack with all your Rexes and everything. I'll just give a quick example field. Put that there. It can be there. Scathe Rex can go there. And then we'll have just a Squall Rex. Don't know why that's there. Put a Coley Magnum there because we're pretty good at this game. And we'll have an Assault Rex. So, again, pretty standard play, very easy to set up for because there's really only two cards in your bind zone, both which can be toolboxed. So you would attack, then attack. Raptrax skill would kick in here. You would sack off the Assault Rex, in this case anyway. Goes to your drop zone, draw a card. Raptrax is going to call over Coley Magnum. Or maybe you sack off the Coley Magnum. Whatever. Raptrax go over Coley Magnum. Coley Magnum goes to bottom of deck. Shuffle, draw a card. End of the battle. Put a Counterblast here. Counterblast. Superior call. And then because Raptrax was called by its effect, it's an 11k booster. Or it gains 2k because it was called by its effect, and then because it was called to rearguard in general, it's also gaining another 2k, so it gains 4k, putting its power up to 11k, meaning that this column is sitting at a beautiful 22. And this is it, not including any triggers that you hit. So then you would go blah blah blah, do that. Oh, the Squall Rex would have had to have sacked off this PG, which, again, none of the situations are very optimized here. But anyway, so then you do your Twin Drive first and second, and you don't hit any triggers. In this scenario, unless you think you can break a guard by hitting triggers, put them into this column here because it's already sitting at 22, and if they're at 9k or if they haven't hit any triggers, it's going to be a 15k guard minimum, and then every trigger just adds another 5k on they have to guard. So yeah, I believe that is the first video, or the first combo, which is again fairly basic. And I think this is the one that you guys, if you guys have to remember one combo from this entire video and get it memorized, memorize this one because it's the most practical and definitely the easiest to pull off because it doesn't require a lot of setup, it's very short, doesn't require a lot of memorization. So moving on to the next one, which currently what I did in that video escapes me. So Babblerab in the past, take over. Whoosh. This is going to go in front of the Barrage X play, so you see that one next. This is kind of more just if you're able to get to this current situation where you have about 3 or 4 free counterblasts, so we'll just say you've got about 3. And you've got, whatever, honestly the field doesn't really matter, the whole point is just this little cute play here. So, it doesn't matter what unit you have as long as it has Rex in its name. So you would go attack, and this does bank on your opponent not hitting a single trigger for these next like 4 attacks, but it doesn't really matter too much because then you just stop and they've got a Squall Rex available for next turn. So attack with whatever the unit is. If they guard, fine, whatever. Counterblast, sack the unit, call a Squall Rex, counterblast after, attack. If they guard, whatever, sack. Squall Rex, attack. Oh, they guarded again? Okay, cool. Counterblast, sack, Squall Rex, attack. So, if you somehow get into a situation where you have about 2, 3, or 4 Squall Rexes in your bound zone and you just need sheer number of attacks and your opponent doesn't hit any triggers, I mean, they're going to like need to not hit any triggers in the next one of these attacks, but if they don't, you've got like attack, 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 attack. That's 4 extra attacks for 3, or 3 extra attacks for 3 counterblasts. So if you need just like sheer numbers on your side, that's good. In addition, this play is strengthened if you go and sack off of course it's not in the top half of the deck, if you go and sack off a Coleo Magnum, because then your Squall Rexes, instead of swinging for 11k, swing for 15 or 16k. So even if they hit a trigger, it's still a threat. Anyway, I'm going to move on to the Barrage Rex play. Okay, so here's the Barrage Rex play that was kind of coming up with in my mind. The whole gimmick of this one is to basically reuse Barrage Rex a few times, or probably once or twice, with the use of Full Blade Rex. Due to the fact that Barrage Rex gets bound after he's done attacking, Full Blade Rex can then Superior Call him back to the field. And if you have like a Raptrex in your bind zone from either previously or due to Savage Mystique's skill, you get to get an extra column to attack with. In addition, for this combo to work, you will either need a Savage Mystique or a Savage Mystique on the field and a Raptrex on the field, or a Raptrex in your bind zone previously. If there's a Raptrex in your bind zone, these 2 grade 1s are not important, and really neither is the Assault Rex. The important ones, if you don't have a Raptrex, are Barrage Rex, Savage Mystique, and Raptrex. And if you don't, or if you have a Raptrex in your bind zone, the only important one is really Barrage Rex at this point. So, the combo is going to look something like this. Swing Assault Rex, boosted by Raptrex. This will be 16, 18 if you called him this turn. You don't really care too much. Next, you swing with Barrage Rex. Barrage Rex is going to sack off Raptrex, giving him the 5k, and then because it was the first sack of the turn, Mystique will then bind. So this is 21, and then after the attack, Barrage Rex binds itself. Next, you swing Blade Rex. Because your Rex attacked, Raptrex will now kick in, sacking off the Assault Rex and Superior Calling to this column here. Drawing a card off of the Assault Rex. Okay, you do your triple drive. First, power, gonna draw. Second, power crit. Third, I totally didn't stack my deck. I shuffled this. So, we crit stacked pretty hard. Doesn't matter though, because we're gonna assume they PG'd. End of the attack, Soul Blast. Sack off Prism Bird. Superior Call Barrage Rex. And attack. Skill, sack off Mystique. So this, we're going to assume you hit 0 triggers just to give you a baseline of this. So this is 9 plus 11, 20. And then with the skill here, it's going to be 25 because of Barrage Rex getting the 5k. Because we hit the triggers, you add an additional 10k onto that, 35. This is 40 to Vanguard. So if they're 5 damage, that's a lot they have to guard. And that about concludes that play. Okay, going to be showing off two combos with Dark Rex here. First one's going to be just a simple Dark Rex plus Coleo Magnum play. Second one is going to be me tinkering around with Blade Rex to get a unit behind Dark Rex to boost, therefore making Dark Rex threatening either way. So, you play your standard way. Attack, attack, skill, sack this, you don't really care too much. And 5k. And then blah 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 blah. So that's 19. Gets bound at the end of the battle phase. Swing Vanguard. Gonna assume they PG. Triple drive first, second, don't care. Third, don't really care. That's nice getting 2 PGs in my hand though. Then we're gonna ignore full Blade Rex here, and we're gonna just use Dark Rex skill. So sack 3. And you're not activating Coleo Magnum until Dark Rex skill is being finished. Superior Red Dark Rex. Coleo Magnum skill now kicks in, giving 5k to Dark Rex, which now means that if they're an 11k, they have to actually put in at least 5k to now have a 1-pass, and then you draw your 1 card. So you now have a 15k Dark Rex, even though it's the only thing on your board, but you don't really care. So 15, Twin Drive first, wow, I'm good at this game, second, okay. So we'll assume you just killed them there. Next one is going to involve the use of Blade Rex's skill to put a unit behind Dark Rex after he attacks, and then I'm going to attempt to show you one more where I use Raptrex to just call itself behind Dark Rex in preparation for a Dark Rex play. Okay, so this is, I think, what the setup should look like. There should be a Dark Rex sitting in your bind zone at this point. So if you drew one and it's in your hand, bind it, power up, probably your Sarco Blaze. That'll be 16 or 11, 18, 19. No, you'd power up your Assault Rex, which will put your Assault Rex up to 14 plus 7 or 9 will get you over 21. So this will be a 21k column. So again, same thing with the using Barrage Rex multiple times. You're going to need a Raptor Rex in your bind zone, or you're going to need at least something to call to your bind zone. So as long as you have a grade 1 in your bind zone, you're good. But if not, you will have to be using Savage Mystique to get one to your bind zone. So play will look something like this. You've got the 3k power up here, so 11 plus 7, 21. Then you swing Sarco Blaze, skill, sack off the Raptor Rex. Gets bound because of Mystique. Sarco Blaze prevents them from guarding with grade 0s. You don't care too much other than that. And then swing Vanguard. Triple drive, first, second, third. Okay, we'll say I missed. Dark Rex is going to sack 1, 2, 3. You don't really care other than that. Actually, we'd start with Full Blade Rex. So Full Blade Rex will Soul Blast. Sack off Mystique. No, sack off Geoconda. Superior Call Raptor Rex. And then Dark Rex kicks in, sacks the remaining 3. And Superior rides itself over top. So this guy will be a 9k boost. So then you're going to swing 19. First, second. And that was that play. So now I'm going to show you guys how to put a Raptor Rex behind your Dark Rex before the end of your turn. Okay, so this combo is going to be putting a Raptor Rex behind your Dark Rex, as well as attacking tons of times. Notice how most of these combos haven't included any Squall Rexes. Just assume that in most situations that if you have Squall Rexes bound and the counterblasts available, you're going to be extending your plays even further and getting extra attacks off that you shouldn't usually be able to get off. So there are so many different things that this deck can do that it's going to probably require me to play this deck a lot more than I already have been doing. Like probably exclusively play nothing but this deck to get every single combo written down. But if you want, I can make this like a tons of different parts combo tutorial video. These are just ones that I've either used before or that I'm thinking of on the get-go. So I'll play around with this deck a bit more if you guys want, and I can come up with some other wacky combos that is possible with Rexes. So anyway, this is going to be putting a Raptor Rex behind Dark Rex. So you put the Dark Rex down, power up the Assault Rex. 21. Again, this is assuming that going to be assuming that your Hellrex Maxima has either bound a Raptor Rex, or if in the event that it hasn't, you will need to be using a Raptor Rex and a Savage Mystique on the field. So just so you guys know that. So I'm going to assume it's the first scenario where you've got a Hellrex Maxima, so it's powering up your front row. So this will be 21 plus 4, 25. And then this will be 16 plus 4, 20. I don't think you want to sack anything off with Sarco Blaze here. So then what you're going to do, swing with Hellrex Maxima, and then you're going to sack off the Coleo Magnum, which it doesn't matter too much, but as long as it's behind it. You put the Raptor Rex behind it. Again, it's a strat unit, you're getting a triple drive, so odds are that it's going to be intimidating enough that they're going to still want to guard it. So it doesn't matter that you lose a bit of power behind it. And in this case, it's a Coleo Magnum, so you draw a card, and you give the 5k to your Vanguard, putting it up to, it was 30 already, so this will be 35. Which does force out more guards. So again, triple drive, first, power crit. I swear I'm not stacking my deck. Second, third. And because the attack missed, which we're going to assume it did, you're going to sack off the 3. Probably in this case, your Assault Rex. And keep the Sarco Blaze. Because then Assault Rex will draw you one more card. And then you Superior Red the Dark Rex. Over top. Now you've got a Raptor Rex that is 11k. And Dark Rex which is 10k, so this is a 21. Doing the Twin Drive, first, second, I suck at triggers. And you end with 7 cards in hand and extra Vanguard attack. If you hit a stand trigger, or we'll say you had some Counterblast available, I'm just gonna extend this like thing this combo video a little bit here. So we'll assume that we'll assume 2 situations. We'll assume that you've got a Raptor Rex here, and we'll assume that you hit a Squall Rex in your bind zone because you're a lucky guy and you've got lots of bind zone. So during your drive check, we'll say, or so the moment it attacks, you're going to sack off the Sarco Blaze to Superior Call the Raptrex right here. And then any triggers that you get from the drive check are going to go to Raptrex. Then afterwards, Counterblast, Superior Call the Squall Rex. So let's just do a quick twin drive here. Oh look, we hit a stand trigger right there. Squall Rex will, of course, need to sack off the Raptrex to get the effects off. And then in this case, you've got a 27k column in addition to the 21, 16, 26, 21, and 27. So all columns that are well over 21k or up to 21k, which will force a 15k guard every single time. And this deck just seems to be the king of forcing a 15k guard if your opponent doesn't have triggers. So the only other combo I can think of is Shenanigans with Scathrax when your opponent's sitting at grade 2. So I'll see what I can come up with. Alright, so this play is pretty good if you have the right combination of cards in your hand, and if your opponent thinks they're being smart and is like, I'm gonna grade stall you so I can get first stride, then you can punish the crap out of them with this. So, here's how this goes. You're gonna go Scathrax. Scathrax is then gonna bind your buddy Raptrex. Then the field should look like this, this, and this. You're gonna go and then afterwards bind Squall Rex, and I don't know where the crap you're gonna put the power to. Actually, this game gives it 2k and Squall Rex gives it 3k, so let's put it all in Assault Rex. That's the plan. We're putting it all on Assault Rex. So Assault Rex is now an 11k attacker because you have a Rex Vanguard. And when he gets sacked, he draws a card. So, the obvious choice is swing with Assault Rex first. Assault Rex is sitting at a beautiful 16k. If they only have a 9k Vanguard, 5 will not exactly guard that, so that's a 10k guard. Next, swing Barrage. 16. Okay, let's power that up. Sack. Draw. 21 to their 9. He gets bound at the end of the turn. You don't exactly care. Next, you swing with Scathrax. Boosted, but you don't care because he now dies. Then you draw a card. Counterblast 2. Superior Call the best 2 cards in the deck. Raptrex and Squall Rex. So you put the Raptrex there. You put the Squall Rex there. So, Scathrax is now going to do some drive checks. He also gains 4k, which puts him up to 14. In addition, talking more technical now, instead of powering up the Assault Rex, you could have powered up your Scathrax, but it doesn't exactly matter since 14 is still going to require a 10k for them to actually do a 1-pass, so it's going to be 15 for 2. So it really doesn't matter too much here. So twin drive, first check, of course I hit a stand trigger. Power is going to go to this column here, and you're going to stand Prison Bird. Second check goes to hand. Now, you would be thinking, I'll Counterblast and Superior Call Squall Rex here right now. You actually don't want to do that. Instead, what you want to do is you want to swing with this column, which is now a 25k column. Then you sack off the Raptrex, or Prison Bird, sorry. Superior Call Raptrex. So 25. And then from there, after they, struggle to guard that, you Counterblast, remove whichever one you don't think you're going to need as much. So if you're like not certain you're going to get more Counterblast next turn, sack off Squall. If you think you're going to get Counterblast or you have extra Counterblast, sack off Raptrex. You need to make the decision here, but unfortunately, you don't get to keep both. However, you do get a lot of extra attacks. So let's just assume that we're not going to hit any Counterblast and we're going to play really passively for whatever stupid reason we have. And we're going to Superior Call Squall Rex here. This is now a 22k column. Swing 22. So that was 16 to 9, 21 to 9, 14 to 9, 25 to 9, and 22 to 9. They're not going to have a hand after guarding that, or they're going to be at 5 damage. And if they already have 5 damage, they're not going to have a hand, and you have a very good chance that you're probably going to kill them. The only downside is that you will need to have early gamed them, which requires Sarco Blaze and Tank Mammoth, and I took the Tank Mammoth out of my deck. But yeah, this is actually with 3 Counterblasts, that's an amazing way to pressure them if they're deciding to grade stall against you for whatever reason. Okay guys, so before I go off, I was talking in the past, the very last little combo explanation about how if you have Counterblast, go for Squall Rex, or if you don't have Counterblast, go for Raptrex to keep at the end of your turn, because you do recall that Mini Rex does bind the 2 units that you Superior Called. So in getting the extra attack, you do end up losing one of the 2. There was one thing I was not factoring in there, which was the fact that there's a Barrage Rex sitting in your bind zone right now, due to the fact that Barrage Rex attacked and powered itself up, and therefore at the end of the attack, bound itself. So in most situations now, if you factor that this guy is going to probably be used in combination with full Blade Rex next turn, you actually do want to sack off the Squall Rex, because he's going to still get bound by the Raptrex. Unless they still get bound regardless of where they are. If they still get bound regardless of where they are, you actually don't care which one you sack off. Let's just assume they don't, because I don't know for certain if they do. So you would sack off the Squall Rex to get this new column, which is going to be swinging 22, solely because at the end of your turn, Raptrex is going to bind here. Reason being is that next turn you stride into full Blade Rex, so he's dead, but it doesn't matter. Next turn you stride into full Blade Rex, which is going to superior call a Barrage Rex, and then over the course of your attacks with different Rex units, you're eventually probably going to get a Raptrex in the column that you need for the full for the Barrage Rex, and then that will allow you to swing for like a 25k line without a single trigger. So, assuming that Baby Rex needs the units that it called to state on the field to get bound, sack the Squall Rex. If it doesn't matter where they are after they've been called, you don't give a crap which one you sack at that point, because you get 2. Even if they get sacked off, you get both. Come to think of it, the way that Friend of the Sun plays, its skill will still go off, even if you superior call it back, and this is me just like relating it to Bermudas and whatnot. So I believe actually that as long as these guys the units were called from here and they're not locked or like bound already or shuffled back into the deck, I think if they're in drop zone or field, they should still get bound. So actually, maybe even if they go back into the deck, they should still get bound. So I think as long as the units don't get locked, you can probably get the 2 units bound from Mini Rex. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% certain. I'm gonna have to talk to some other people to see if I'm right. But if what I just said is not correct, you do want to keep the Raptrex for Mini Rex's effect, because Squall Rex is just not going to combo as well with Blade Rex and Barrage Rex as Raptrex will. And that is the end of the video. Hopefully these few combos were fairly informative to you guys. If you have any more questions, leave them in the comment section below. And other than that, I am Babblerab, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.